All right. This portion of the course is going to talk about the countertop, the outlet, the cabinetry, as well as mirror placement and towel rod placement. Mike, over to you.
Okay. Well, one of the things that I found that many wheelchairs have a problem with, and that's accessing the sink. Now, if you were to just imagine somebody in a chair sitting there and trying to reach over to wash their hands or brush their teeth, look at the difficulty level they face, and that's every day. So what we do is we will create for them a roll under sink scenario. Now what that is the countertop basically stays the same, and you either open or build a cabinet that's going to work for that individual. So let's say from the countertop down, it will be open or approximately that way. So now, imagine this being wide open and them sliding in there with their chair, which gives them direct access to the faucet. Now, when that happens, which is beautiful, and all of a sudden it changes their life, and they have full independence in the bathroom, in the sink area. But take a look at the underside of this, where the trap is. That can be very hot, as well as the supply lines. You've got to be careful. So what we do is we wrap these in what's called anti-scald devices.
Do you move them, Mike? And I'm sorry.
You can, Vinnie, yes.
I'm just imagining a wheelchair going in there, and I bump the front of the wheels or the front of the base.
Yeah, that really depends on the person in the chair, the type that it is. But to be able to relocate that trap in a way that's going to make that work, absolutely. There's ways to do virtually anything when it comes to putting these things together. But just remember, anti-scald devices protect the person with some of these people don't even have any feelings in their legs. So they wouldn't even know that it was being scalded at that point. So that's one of the reasons. Now imagine this is wide open, they slide under, and it's a beautiful thing. And they make cabinets that look phenomenally good. They can call universal design, where you would open this up and it would be wide open. And yet, from the outside, it looks just like a regular cabinet. Kind of nice, huh?
Very nice.
Any questions, Vinnie?
No, that's great. I love that.
Okay. Okay, there's that. Now let's talk about the countertop itself. What we do is, depending on the person and the type of home they have and what they need. In this case, you have this beautiful countertop. So if a person needed it to be readjusted, we could save the countertop, lower it or raise it depending on what we do with the cabinetry. So that's an option. If they have a countertop that doesn't work, we will take that countertop off, redo the cabinetry that's necessary, and put the new countertop into a design that's customized for that particular person. So that works real well, okay? And, well, Vinnie, you got any questions on the countertop itself?
I don't know if I have a question on the countertop. I like how you said you can save the countertop if need be. I also know that limestone as a countertop is antibacterial and antimicrobial. So it might be an option for some people, if they are going to switch out their countertop, to look into limestone as an option. Just to throw it out there.
What better way to do it than that? I mean, I totally agree with you. It's really fantastic.
But that's great. Okay. I think I'm good. What about on the countertop, the backsplash there? Is that a...
Backsplash is fine in this case. That works well. Okay. But let's take a look at what's the prevention scenario of having water destroy the wall. Mm-hmm. Well, right now what we're going to do is let's talk about the faucet for a second, which ties into that backsplash. If you have a touchless faucet, which going to somebody who has real difficulty working with their hands, then that's beautiful, because now all they have to do is put their hands under it and the faucet comes on to a preset temperature that can be adjusted into virtually any temperature you want. Obviously, you're going to want it so that it's comfortable for the person in the chair. If we don't use a touchless faucet, that's okay. Use lever handles like what you see here. That turns things on and off. If you have a round knob, it's like the doorway we talked about. Very difficult for a person to be able to turn those. So we use lever handles or use a touchless faucet, okay? And it's beautiful.
Excellent. Touchless faucets it's almost an automation feature as well.
Yeah.
Which helps because they'll turn on for X amount of time and turn off, so you don't have to worry about forgetting that you turned off your faucet.
Yep. Great. It's true.
I think my question now comes to that hand towel up there. It looks kind of high for me if I was in a wheelchair, but I don't know how or what you would recommend.
Well, there's a couple things. I like grab bars that look like hand towels in this case. They make those. I think that you're absolutely right. In this particular case, a wheelchair person would have difficulty reaching up to grab that. So we can lower that. There's ways to do it. And you always find a spot to make that work. So in every case, it is an assessment. You talk to the person, what's best for you? This particular scenario, would you like it lowered? Would you like a different style? Would you like a grab bar style that I'm going to show you? And however that works, and that's great. That's what I'll do, okay?
Excellent. Anything on the drawers as far as how high drawers should be, or if you should have different types of drawers? I see these ones that are handles as an example, and I think trying to reach into them, I don't know if that's difficult. These are also soft close doors, which are always nice because you won't slam your fingers.
Well, a person can easily get, I can't say that for everybody because it's not true for everybody, but they make different handles. But this particular case, that would be easy for somebody to do. But if they couldn't get their fingers underneath, they've got different style handles. Okay, now what's beautiful about a custom door is, let's say that this was one whole unit. You could pull the whole thing out and you would have side mount cabinetry that you would be able to easily access.
Side mount, that's
very
important. Okay.
They do that for kitchens and they do it for baths.
Because sometimes they're very deep. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that second drawer right there is pretty deep if you're in a wheelchair and you're trying to dig down into it and you don't have the back mobility.
100%. You know, if you get, for seniors in this particular case especially, well, you know, to be able to bend over and get all of this, that is not easy to do. So what are you going to do to make their life easier? Cabinetry that can be afforded is available to them.
Absolutely. And I have seen cabinets where, of course, it gets a little more costly, but there is automation and buttons that you can push that lift some of the drawers up to you. And then you push the button and they lift them back down. Like I said, I know those get a little more expensive, but when you're talking about your health and you're talking about mobility, I don't think cost really comes into play.
No, I totally agree with that. What's going to make your life easier, a little more independent?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Any other things on the countertop as far as, I know we talked about height. Is there a height level in inches that you can share with us that from your experience you've seen?
My experience is the individual. What kind of a chair does the person have? How high is that chair? What do they need to access the sink? If you're going to create a roll under sink, does the countertop have to be raised for them? Or would it make sense to actually lower it? And there's ways to do all of this. Little construction is involved in this, and I guess that's why I'm in business.
Excellent. Perfect. Well, thank you, Mike. We're going to close out this session with regards to the countertop, the sink, and the cabinets, and the handrail. And then we will move over to the toilet.
Now you're talking.